So my name is Joel Billionaire. In 2006, I encountered a girl that I liked. I was in my vacation and I tried to pursue her for a year, but things didn't work out properly. So I got an idea of writing a book. So I started writing a book. The title for that book was Go Slow Boy, The Lord Knows You Need Her. So I wrote that book for 4 years. I joined university. I was pursuing a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering. So I wrote that book over a course of 4 years. And when I was done with it, I wanted it printed. So I tried to scan for someone who would do for me a great design, because I wanted something that would really stand out. Luckily enough, I encountered a gentleman at church who was excellent in design. So he designed my book. When he designed, he wasn't into the printing thing, so he told me to go and look for a printer. So at the time I used to volunteer with Scripture Union Uganda. So there was a gentleman who used to print books for Scripture Union. He would do the Bible reading materials. So what happened was, I went to him, I told him, you know what, I have this book, I want it printed. So he told me he would print it. He gave me a quotation for 500 books. I saw I wouldn't be able to handle it properly. So he gave me a quotation for 300 books. I gave him the money. He came and started working on it. But then he proved to be slow. Like, he was so slow. I expected books in like 2 weeks. And after a month, I didn't have the books. So that forced me to come to Nasa Road to look for him where he works. So when I came to Nasa Road, I found the activity. I had never been in such an environment, because, like I entered the buildings like whole arcades, and people were like, it was just paper. People were dealing with paper. People were stamping receipt books. People were doing books. Like, I was amazed. So I thought to myself, I was like, you know what? As a prospective writer, I need to understand the process of bookmaking, because if I understand it, probably it will help me to do my books faster, but also better. So after that, after printing the first 300 books, I did them. Luckily enough, when we were doing the design, I put my number. Somehow I think I was an entrepreneur from the beginning. So I put a company which wasn't even there. I just put Wisdom for Life Limited. It wasn't registered, I put it and put my number. So when that book sold, because the book was on relationships for young people, so it attracted people. The title was amazing. We had put a speedometer on it. It was like someone who was crashing in 180 kilometers per hour. So I was like, Go Slow Boy, the Lord Knows You Need Her. So it was attractive. People bought it. So one of the people, after that, someone bought it and called me. So they thought I was actually the publisher of the book. So he called me and like, you know what? We like what you did for this author. Can you do for me such a book? I was like, cool. So someone gave me, the first job I did was for about 500 books. And so when I received that order, I did the same, went back to my guy who had designed for me the book. He went and designed this one. I went to this one who had printed for me, done the print for me. He helped me to do a quotation. We came to Nasa Road, got it printed. That was the first job I did in printing. When that was done, I had finished university. Briefly after university, worked a bit as a maintenance engineer. And then after some time, after a few months, I decided to come to Nasa Road. Because I'd done that one job, I went to Scripture Union Uganda, and I convinced them that I could pull off a better job for them. Why? Because they were doing lots of Bible reading materials, but the concepts for design were so poor. You know, like I would look at a book and it's, for example, you'd find daily guide, daily power. Someone would just get maybe a sunflower and he puts there or what, you know. So you'd look at a design that is not interesting and appealing at all. So I thought, I was like, you know what, I can make a difference here. So I went to these guys, I told them, you know what, I can pull off this job for you. Of course, at first they doubted and what, but then I did a sample for them, went to this designer friend of mine. I said, you know what, we need to pull off concepts for these books. So we did different conceptual designs for the different Bible reading materials. And then we showed them to them. And luckily enough, they were amazing. So they gave me the first job. At that time, I had to register a company. So I registered a company called Tough Group. You know, a name just came to me because I was in a hurry. A name came to my mind. It was Tough Group Business Solutions. I registered it, went and got that contract. That contract, the first contract, I was given 2 book titles. One title was 10,000 books, another was 5,000. That was, it was a big order. But somehow, I consulted different people who had been in the business. The other guy came, helped me do the quotation, bought paper, went and found a printer guy, ran the job. And the job was successful. They liked the books. I remember, I think actually that year, the chair, either the director or the chairman of Square in Africa was visiting, and he liked one of my designs stood out. You know, they had never had such designs. So after that time, we, of course, I kept, for years, I kept making productions for Scripture Union. But then I almost had one client, that was Scripture Union. So I would do the printing at the end of the year, usually at the end of the year. So I thought to myself, I was like, what happens if this client somehow finds an alternative? So I realized there was a pastor friend of mine who had a great message, but I'd never seen his book. So I went to him and told him, you know what, Pastor? I asked him, when are you writing a book? He told me he's busy, he's what? So I told him, you know what, I can write for you a book. I can write for you a book. What you need to do is just give me your audios, all your audios. I'll help you write a book. So the pastor told me, you know what, you are an answered prayer. You are the kind of person I've been looking for. So I realized that there was market. There were lots of opportunities with pastors, because pastors have the message, but most of the times they don't have the time to sit down and write, you know. So I went, did it with that pastor. We produced the first book. When we produced the first book, one of the things that I made sure to do, I think I'm a kind of a person that, you know, I like excellence. I like good things. And sometimes I do jobs that I do jobs that even when clients are satisfied with them, for me, I'm not satisfied, you know. So I like, sometimes I find myself even repeating projects. You know, I do a job, I rip off covers, I redo it, because I like excellence. So I think that thing helped promote me. So whenever my books went out, I would receive calls. People would call me, you know what, hey, you know what, I found a book you did in Aristoc, can you do this? So from that time, my clientele base started growing, because every book I did, somehow clients kept coming. So right now as I speak, we almost, at least every week, we have a book that we are producing. Sometimes 2, sometimes 3, every single week. And the biggest market, of course, comes from the Christian community, comes from the church, because I think the church is the one that has the biggest message to convey, but also it's the one that has eager people that want to receive that message. So we've had almost 98% of our clients are coming from the church. either pastors, either they are just churchgoers, but somehow they are coming from the church. So, of course, after most of my products going out, now different people started reaching out. Yeah. So right now I can say we've printed books for Kenya, we've printed for Rwanda, we've printed for as far as Malawi, we've printed for even some from UK. Yeah, we have some clients somehow who, especially those that want to do, probably if someone wants to do a launch here, or they want to sell their books in Africa, somehow when they ask around, they find that our name stands out. So we never disappoint.